Hi folks, we did a video on the Ford and Chevy, identifying some of the years of the trucks, the differences over the years. Now we're going to do Dodge. We don't want Dodge to be left out. It's one of our favorites. This is one of our pride and joys. This is a B series. It's a 1949. But we've got some older ones here we're going to show you. Then we'll show you some newer ones too. And we'll show you some of the basic things to tell you between the different years. And just give you a rough idea. We're not going to get into fine details of motors and transmissions and that kind of stuff, but body styles and changes like that. And if we miss anything that anybody knows of, you can all chime in and let us know what we missed, or if there's things that we should have told you that you feel we should have told you, and just add it in the comments. Give us comments and give us thumbs up, give us subscriptions. All those things help our videos, so we can do more of these. But we'll start with this one. We're going to move on to an older one. Okay, so this is, I believe, the oldest one we have in the salvage yard here. I can't think of any older ones, so we're going to start with this one. Before this, like in a 34, 35, they had suicide doors, a lower cab. This is the first year after the suicide doors that they had the conventional doors. So they start this cab in 36. This one's a 37 or 8, I believe. Fenders look similar to a car. You can see that they have that pan on the inside, and the headlight would be on the side of the grill on these. Still got the inline 6 engine. Got a one-piece windshield here. Flat windshield with solid piece. Later on they go to a divided windshield, kind of V-shaped. Kind of one big fat body line across there. And you can look inside and look at the dash. It's really a nice looking dash on these. You can see the wings in the center of the dash up at the top there. It's got wings on it and says Dodge down the center with gauges on either side of it. The glove box door looks similar to the later ones, but they didn't change them a lot, but there's quite a few minor differences. So that style cab goes up to 38. So now we'll take you to the next series cab, which goes from 39 to 47. But that's the older style cab right there. So this one is kind of a family friend, basically. We have a 47 Dodge panel truck, so we've always liked this style. They start this in 39, same cab basically, 39 to 47. And they actually use that same cab on power wagons and World War II trucks, and they pumped out a lot of those during World War II. But anyway, this one is a 42. The reason we know this is because it has blacked out. It would have had a plastic hood ornament, if you can believe that. And it had painted trim here. Okay, so 46 and 7 after the war, this would be stainless. It would be shiny in here. Notice the headlight bezel is also painted. This is a wartime truck. Somewhere 42 to 44, somewhere in there. This piece here is painted. Door handles are painted. There's no chrome on it really. So that's how you know wartime truck. Another thing that tells us here, this had a cowl light. There'd be a running light on here. They don't start that running light until 41. So this tells you also, same cab as the 39, but 39 and 40 do not have a cowl light here. They have a headlight on a pedestal out here, where this one, the headlight is kind of set into the fender. So they start that headlight there in 41. So some of the stuff is the same, some isn't. They also add this Dodge emblem on the side of the hood. You can see where that had a Dodge emblem there. That starts, I believe, in 41. The 39 would have a different grille. 39 and 40 have a different grille with a different headlight arrangement. So same cab, but a lot of changes from 39 and 40 to 41 to 47 are pretty similar. You can see the dash is quite a bit different from that older one we showed you. This has kind of a waterfall shape in the center of the dash. And you got your gauges over there, a big round speedometer and some gauges on either side. Still got a V-shaped crank out windshield. So 47, this style cab, is going to be the last year for their crank out windshield. Once we get to 48, it's going to be like that blue pickup that we pulled in at the beginning of the video. So that kind of shows you some of the changes on this style. These are a WC model, and like I say, they also did them with the Power Wagon. They use the same cab on Power Wagons up to the 60s. There was two different styles of Power Wagon. Some had this cab, some had the regular cab for the year. So that's that style. Now we'll go to the 48 style. Okay, we've come back to this one. This is the one we pulled in on. This is a daily driver for us. We really like this truck. It's called a B model, and this one's a 49, but 48, 49, 50 are all similar. You can see it's still got a butterfly hood. Opens like that. They use the same engine for a lot of years. It's the Flathead 6 engine there. Like I was telling you, they get away from the crank out windshield. This windshield's just put into rubber, does not crank out. It's a much taller windshield too. Also, the headlights are now in the grill. They don't have a bucket like up on the fender or anything. So that's how you start telling when you're getting close to the 50s. Now we have another model we're going to show you over there that uses the same cab basically, but has a little different grill. And some of the changes too are inside. You can look inside this one. Look inside here at the dash. Notice the gauges go crossways there. And we're going to show you the other truck, which is more like a 51 or 2 that has a different dash arrangement and a little different grill. These rear fenders are kind of funky on these. They almost look like a barrel that you cut off and stuck on there. They look homemade almost, but that's the original fender. And these beds they used for quite a few years. You'll see a tailgate that looks very similar to this, you know, for a long time, starting in 48, but right up, you know, through. Some of the later ones don't have Dodge stamped in it. They just have a decal on there. But, you know, if they have a step side bed, they'll use the same tailgate for a number of years. So from here, we're going to jump. Oh, one other thing about this one, it's the pilot house cab. That means it's got these corner windows. So it's a 5-window cab like a Chevy. They call it a pilot house on a Dodge. So from there, we're going to step over to the one that's a couple years newer. So this is basically the same cab, but a couple years newer. This one's like a 51 or 2, I'd say. You notice the grille doesn't have those stainless bars across there, and it's got this big job rated emblem in the middle. So the grille is quite a bit different. Does not have a hood ornament on there. This one did not have the 5-window cab or pilot house. This is a regular 3-window cab. And we'll show you the difference in the dash. You can see how this has, you know, 2 stacked gauge clusters and a radio speaker over here, where the other one had the gauge cluster across the center. So that dash is quite a bit different. But basically the same cab from 48 to 53. In 54, they go to a different cab, which we're going to show you next, to 48 to 60 style. So we'll jump over there to that one. So as you can see, this one has changed a lot from the other series there. So that, like we said, the other cab went from 48 to 53. This cab starts in 54. The couple differences though, 54, early 55 don't have this wraparound window. They got the door kind of comes straight across here like this. Later in 55, 6, they come around like that and have the dog leg, kind of like a 56 Ford does. These grills change. I believe the double headlights are 59 and 60, maybe 58 as well. Yeah, they are 58 to 60, that's right. 57 would have a single headlight and a little different fender here, but the grills are different on them from year to year. You can see this one has a flat bed on it, flat side bed. It's not the step side. And you can check out the dash here. The dashes are quite a bit different on the years. You know, this dash is, I think, even different than the 54. We'll pop up a picture of a 54 dash. This is the last of this style cab. This one's a 1960. And in 1961, they go to a much different look. It's a real squared out cab, which we're going to show you next. So this one, as you can see, is a lot different cab. I mean, it's a lot more squared out than the series before this. Looks a lot newer. But they start this in 61, and they actually use that same style cab up to 71. So it's a 10-year run. Some of the differences on them, look at the grill on this one. Well, you'll have to look on this side. It's missing that headlight bucket, but this has got the double headlights. So they changed these grills quite a bit, you know, from 61 to 71. A lot of things change, but it's the same basic idea on the cab. These are kind of a nice low looking cab. I always thought these are great looking trucks. Here again, this one's got a smooth side bed, not the step side. Still got a crank out handle. The later cabs on these, I had a 71 Power Wagon, had a push button handle. So they do change the door handles. They change a few things on these. You can look inside at the dash there. This one's missing the gauge cluster, but they changed some of those things over the different years that they made these. They also made a Power Wagon version of this, which was a four-wheel drive. But this would be a D100, and a Power Wagon would be a W100, or whatever model it is. Could be a 200 or 300, you know, if it's a 1 ton or 3/4 ton. But anyway, these are really cool looking trucks, and I always like the hoods on them with the louvers on them and stuff. So from this, you step up to a 1972, which is the real square body. So we're going to go over and look at one of the square body Dodges. Okay, this is what we'd call a square body style Dodge. These start in 72. This is kind of an oddball. This is a railroad truck. It had wheels that would swing down and run on the railroad tracks. And notice it's a crew cab as well. They did make this. They did make crew cabs on the older style cab, but this is the 72 up style. This is a two-wheel drive, not a four-wheel drive. It's kind of a funky truck. But anyway, I believe this to be a 77 or 8. It's got the parking light next to the headlight. This grill's kind of munched, but it's got the bird bath style hood. And, you know, obviously, you can tell they call it a square body style because of the shape of the cab. Notice the bed. This same bed is used for a lot of years. I think they started back in the 50s. These same fenders, maybe 54, all the way up to the 80s, I think. We'll use that same style bed. But this one, and we're going to show you one more that's like a 79 or 80, are the couple of square bodies we have, so we'll jump over there. Okay, so this one is another one of that same style, but this is a regular conventional cab, not the crew cab. But I believe this one's a 79 or 80. Notice it does not have the parking light beside there. It's a little different style grill. So they changed, you know, I've had 76s and 75s and stuff, and they change the grills on all the different years. This one is a Power Wagon, which means four-wheel drive. And we can show you inside here. There's a dash. They use that same dash for a number of years. This one's actually got an automatic transmission, so it's a four-wheel drive with an automatic. And it's got the smooth side bed where the other one, the crew cab, had the step side bed. From this, we're going to show you the next series, which this style goes up to 1980. The next one is 1981, so we'll jump over there. Okay, so this is the next style. It looks pretty similar cab-wise, but they change it a little bit. They change the dash and everything, change the nose. But this style starts in 81 and goes up to 93. And this is what people refer to as the first gen. I think that's referring to the fact that they had the Cummins diesel engine in them starting in the early to mid 80s. This one here has got a gas engine. It's a 318. This is a Power Ram. They no longer call them a Power Wagon. They call them a Power Ram, but it's a four-wheel drive. This is the old city of Puckwana. This is our toolbox truck that we use around the yard a lot. So we've had a lot of these trucks. My dad bought one new in 87, and I've had a couple different ones. But from here, we'll go to the second gen, which is a lot different from this. Okay, this is what they'd refer to as the second gen. They started this one in 94, and they went up to 2002. These are, in my opinion, some of the best trucks ever made. You can get the earlier years have a 12-valve Cummins. This one had the 24-valve, but just a real workhorse, a much better truck, quieter cab. There's guys that have put over 1 million miles on these. But I don't know that it's ever going to get any better than that, because the newer ones got too many electronics and stuff, and those trucks were just great trucks, and they'd go forever. So anyway, that's one that we did a lot of towing with. It's kind of, it looks bad here. It's been sitting in the ground a while. I don't know what to do with it, but we hate to get rid of it because it's kind of a family member. But anyway, That's what that style is. The third gen goes from 2002 or 3 up to 2009, I believe. And we'll pop you a picture of that one because we don't own one of those. But you can see the differences in the cabs and the front ends and everything. Then we are going to go to the 4th gen. We'll jump over there to that because that's our daily driver, our tow pig. So this is the 4th gen. This is the one that we tow with all the time. Just a great truck. By this time they had the 6.7 diesel, lots of power. This one's a 3500, 1 ton. You know, it's got the crew cab, 4-wheel drive. These trucks are just amazing. But there is a lot of electronics that can go wrong with them too. That's why I like the older style better. But anyway, we've been using this truck. It's got almost 200,000 miles on it, and you know, we love it. And that'll pretty much do it for our Dodge. You know, it's kind of a little bit of a history and kind of a quick guide to see the different years and models. You know, if you guys come up with other things we should talk about or want to comment on things, let us know what we missed, things like that. You know, please subscribe to our channel and give us thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next run here. I'll just cruise out of here with this one. Okay.